on GT Channel with Sam Matani, James McKeon, and Taro Koki.
Oh, well, I guess the first one, but the big news that dropped last night is the no car week this year, because Pebble Beach canceled last night.
Oh, they canceled?
Yes,
Yeah.
so Pebble Beach is canceled, so everything else is probably going to step away from that. Obviously, Governor Newsom here in California said there was going to be no large gatherings of people. So that sort of, I think, was probably the first, would say, thing that would draw a red flag around that. But I think also, obviously, with the shutting down of all the logistics on the global scale and the flights and whatnot, making it difficult for people to get cars in and out, I think was probably the next thing to go there, rather than the logistics behind the scenes, rather than thinking of the people that's come into play there. So that's obviously a real shame. But as I was talking to my father about it, he said, well, James said it's a good thing, because if I can't go to it this year, I don't want anyone to go to it. So he thinks that's a fair result.
I love Nigel's thinking. Nigel's spot
bastard. Damn.
If no one could have it, if I can't have it, no one else can either.
Exactly. So that was, I guess that's the main news to come out of that. And so we'll see, which is also really good, because I didn't book my house yet for Pebble. So
I was planning on going too, to hang out and party with you over there.
I know, and I did it all set up
on the cliff edge.
I know, right there. I've got that small space, but I know that's your house, Sam. You and your island money that you've got back there.
Yeah.
But then I guess what I was going to say, that the next thing I was going to talk about was maybe the F1 2020 video game that's going to be coming out. So the F1 game, as I'm going to pull up here so I can share my screen. One moment as I come
Everybody's spending time online anyway and playing video games, right?
Playing the video games now. So this one, we've got the F1 2020. So hopefully you can see that on my screen there, the Ferrari. What is the funniest thing about this is this game gets released in July 10th, which might even before the first Formula One race of 2020 happens. So the esports drivers and just casual video game players, we're playing this game ahead of actually seeing any of these cars hit the racetrack.
They'll be driving these cars before the drivers do on the racetrack. Or
well, I think they've done a little bit of practicing in them, Sam, before the
competitively.
Exactly, yes. But as you say, but I think it's always competitively, even when they're practicing. But yes, so.
Why must you just keep trying to cut down my word? You know what I meant.
I do know what you mean. And then obviously we've been talking a lot about the esports racing, and I've just left it on the Ferrari here with Charles Leclerc seemingly being the man to beat when it comes to F1 racing.
Mm-hmm. I think in real life too, or is it still Lewis's world in the real life?
Well, I think you and I differ, and maybe Taro and Sean have other thoughts, but I think that's in real life. I think Lewis is going to be difficult to beat, but it seems like on the sim
think so
racing,
too. The guy is crazy. He's a freak. He is.
Yeah. So as I've got to give my props out to my friends over at Codemasters there, because they might even, you know what, Sam? They might even give me a copy of the game to demo. So I'm just saying, it's counting down the days, Sam, till I need that PlayStation 4 from you. So just remember, July 10th is when it gets launched on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
Oh, can you mute, James? Do you have the power to do that over there from your...
No one can mute James.
Oh, damn it.
But
especially on the Gran Turismo.
Oh, God. When he brings it up, just mute him, please.
I'm just, look, Taro and Sam, it's going to be much easier when you get me that PlayStation 4.
Mute.
It'll just be all nice things you'll be hearing from me.
Just get it for him so he'll shut up.
I gotta set him up with Taku. So.
I was going to say, don't you know those guys? Come on.
Yeah, but I can't get a free one. My goodness, James is overestimating my pool here.
Well,
and
I don't know about that.
Oh, come on, Sean. Just chill with
play
me
along
here.
with you. Okay, I'll play along with you.
Exactly.
I will say that you probably may have a hard time getting one if you ask, but maybe.
That's what I want to hear. I see even Sean supporting me, Sam. Look, it's 2 against 1 here, Sam. I mean, look, you've got to go with it.
Okay,
when the guests are saying you've got to live up to your deal, you've got to live up to the deal. At
James, what else do you have?
Oh, well, I guess if that's the case, then, moving along, my review for this episode. So I'm going to go pull up what I had to review. So this, I will say, is what I had to review, which was the Audi Q3 S-Line. In the words of my wife, she said this was the best car that I have ever had the loan of. This was her favorite car.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was.
Wait, that's including the Ram?
Including everything. She thought it was better than the Ram. To be fair, I think that if she was driving the Ram, she would find it a little bit big.
Oh, okay.
And it is, to be fair, it is quite a large vehicle. So this one, she really, really liked that this was adequately sized. It was nice to be running around town in. As it's a crossover, you sit a little bit up, which people like to do these days. Had great visibility in it. And one of the other things that she really liked about it was the interior.
Audis make wonderful interiors. They always have.
It's a nice looking car.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 2-liter, 8-speed. Not obviously the most exciting, but putting it in dynamic mode, it was nice to roll around town in. Not particularly the quickest, but then again, as you know, that being a crossover, it's not looking that way. But hopefully, I can talk a little bit more about the peppiness of them when I get into the the R series SUVs a little later this year. Okay. But I mean, it was fun, and she was like real into it. For this one, they start I think around 36. The one that we had tested came in at just shy of 45,000. It came in this blue color, as you can see. This wasn't the one that I particularly drove, because as you'll see, it's got some European number plates on. But
yeah, I could tell that's not one of your photos.
No, it's not. You prefer my photos, I know, Sam.
I do.
Especially with those road and track tips that you gave me over time. What we did, another thing that we liked about the interior was the LEDs, and you get to change the color of the LEDs inside. So that's kind of fun to play around with.
Okay. And does this car have enough cup holders for you?
It does. It does. Obviously, not enough in particular for me. I verge on the more of the Dodge Ram side of the business, the Ram cup holders.
Which is I think 47 cup holders.
I think we counted 12 cup holders for 5 individuals. So, you know, that's like the right amount, basically.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, the wife thought this was the best car that I've had to test. She was really into it. 45,000. I think it's a very good price point. I thought it was a good car. One funny thing that I learned about it was that it's mostly built in Hungary.
Oh, wow.
So there you go.
That's a really pretty car. Yeah.
And you had this car for a week?
Yeah, I had a week tootling around, only doing necessary errands in it though, Tara, which meant just going to and from the store.
You don't have to cover you don't have to cover your butt, James. Everyone knows that.
How about the grocery store though? Like, does the back have enough space to? Yeah,
it was adequate. It was seats pushed down so it can lay flat at the back there. So it was a real good size. It was comfortable enough to fit everything you needed to put in there. It's
like BMW X1, Nissan Rogue, RAV4 size, correct?
Yes, Q3, I'd say put more in the X1 size rather than because of the price point against the other two.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Yeah. So
and that's it from you,
I
James?
really did like it. That's covering all my things, Sam. You know me. I like to be nice and easy.
No, you're very efficient. Now, Taro, is there a reason why you have a Hako behind you? What's up with your background? Is there you talking about that?
No.
What do you have for us?
I just want this car.
Okay, what do you have for us this week?
I had Sean.
Is your segment done with Sean?
Yeah, I had Sean.
Oh, no, that doesn't count. You have to have some car or something.
Oh, I don't have anything. I didn't prep anything.
Oh, Sean, before you go though, then I'll ask the questions for Tara.
It's nice to be president.
What are some of the cars that you find the most unusual requests that you've had when they've come through on the 25-year rule?
I mean, people looking for stuff. I mean,
yeah, they're actually not rather than looking. I will say where they've actually parted with the money, because obviously you've got a lot of people with big checkbooks, but ones that'll actually come to write that check when they've called in and said, "This is the one that I really want you to get for me."
I'll tell you the truth. People have little imagination.
Okay.
That's it.
So they buy what they see, basically?
Yeah. So what I have is what they usually buy. Yeah. There's I've like, as far as special requests go and things, there's really not that much that's out of the ordinary. There really isn't. I mean, It's almost always when people are coming and talking to us, they really want, they really want what we have. It's weird. I'd say, like I said, a little weird, but it's people R32 GT-R.
That's it. That's the one. With
Sean, that
oh,
R32 behind you, is that, Sean, that R32 behind you, is that your
my
daily
car?
driver? Yeah.
No, I mean, not a daily. I mean, I have a Infinity FX. I have like 3 Infinity FX 35.
You have 3 of them? Why do you have 3 of them?
Why not?
That's just, okay.
There's a gold one there, and then if I open the garage, you'll see my. I have a dark gunmetal, and then I have a silver one.
I mean,
anyway,
you like the FX30 so much you wanted them 3 different colors. Is that it?
They're just
they are cool. I do like them because, you know, I mean, they look like
they're relatively cheap, and they have
futuristic.
a VQ. They have a VQ35 in it, and
boy, the suspension is tuned way too stiff for my taste. But you like
relatively
that, right?
stiff. It depends on what tires on it. If it's on the 20, it's on the 18. So
I think I drove the one on the 18s but the one with the V8, the FX.
FX45 with the 20s ride pretty hard because I had one.
It was
so it rides pretty, but the 35 with the 18 is all right. So
okay.
But my R30,
show us the R32.
This R32 here, which let's see, I can turn around.
Oh, I'm getting seasick.
Is that it? Okay. So this one is, I call it the blue car. So I bought it.
I wonder why.
I right.
You got to get a little more creative with your names there.
No, man. You know, sometimes you just have to, get whatever you're gonna get. So this car, I originally purchased it to sell, I have a Nismo also, Nismo R32 GT-R, and so. I started to build the Nismo. I needed a car to take to the track. And so then I've taken this to R's Day 3 or 4 times now, I think. So I've been using it as my track car, my demo car. It's got Nismo R-Tune suspension. It's got ARC twin entry intercooler. It's got, it's got gold BBS wheels, 1810 with Bridgestone Potenza RE71R all the way around. It's got Brembo brakes. It's got, some other stuff in here. It's got Nismo seats and, a bunch of other things. But I use it as my track car. So, but I'm actually getting ready to sell it. So I really have not that much attachment to this one. So, and I have a Nismo. My Nismo is my baby. So I have Nismo number 500. So that's my actual. This one, like I said, we'll sell it here eventually. I just have to decide how much of this, like, really cool parts that I have on it that I want to keep on or I want to take off. So,
God, I'd love to see you get the 400R. Do you remember that? I think that was on the R33.
Yeah, there's so for the 400R, there's only 44 cars.
Yeah, it was pretty.
And they're they're around $100,000 each.
In Japan.
So, yeah.
Wow.
But I think that's kind of what. I'm not surprised. I mean, that thing was it's 400 horsepower. I mean, that thing was
Yeah, it's just so So this is the reason I'm getting rid of this is because I have the R33. So like I actually have of my own. This is separate from Top Rank, and I mean I have 3 R32s of my own right now. So this is one of the 3 that I have. And so the nice part, at least for me, is that the R33 is actually owned by the company. So, depending on exactly how you do your taxes and your bills and your profit and losses, sometimes that makes some nice sense. So the R33 is owned by the company. And like I said, this is mine. So
your personal.
All right. So before we go, let me ask a last question. And Sean, you could answer this too, but let's go with Taro first. Taro, R32, R33, R34. You could have any of them at the same price, but you can't sell it. So, you got to live with it. So R32, R33, R34.
Well, I can't drive an R34 right now. I live in Los Angeles.
No. I'm just saying in a hypothetical world.
Oh, if I could.
Yeah. What's your favorite Skyline out of the R32, 33, 34?
That's a hard one. I like the R34. But I would be willing to purchase an R32 though.
Okay, not purchases. Which one's your favorite Skyline? R32, 33, 34?
R34.
34?
Yeah.
James?
R32.
32. All right, Sean?
R32 is the only car.
Oh, okay. Now, Taro, follow-up questions. If you could have then the R34 or the R35.
Oh, it's not even a choice. R34.
Okay.
For what?
James.
R32.
32. Sean.
To what? To drive or to just hang
Just
out?
to
What do you do?
have, but yeah, you. Why would you? You're not an R35 guy, so you're an R32. Okay.
I don't mind the R35. I think it's fine. I think it's a lot of car.
It is. It's one of the fastest cars in the world. So.
Right. I mean, they're, you know, I mean, we've had a couple, and I mean, you've got a, you know, I mean, even a 180 horsepower version, a 2009 version, man, if you're not pointed in the right direction when you get on it, I mean, you know,
I know. I tested it.
You know, pulls everything up towards you. So.
How about you, Sam? How about you, Sam?
Oh,
Sam,
I think I'm with you. I was always an R32 guy, but you know, the more I drove the R34, the more I loved it. So yeah, I'm an R34 guy, and yeah, I would over the R35 too. And you know, like R32, 33, and 34, they have that mystique about them, right?
Yeah, just because you can't get them here.
About them because
yeah.
they weren't marketed, you know, here and everything.
Right.
So, okay, let's see. I guess that kind of wraps it up. We've been going an hour and a half. So,
Sean, tell us where we can find you. Tell us.
Oh yeah, Sean, give us. How do we get a hold of you if we?
How do we find you?
So it's
we want
Top
an
Rank,
R32.
Top Rank Importers, importedvehicle.com, 844, go Nissan, Nissan San.
You might want to do that in English, just for our English listeners.
844-523-2233.
Oh, you got Nissan in there.
And
okay.
you guys are on social media, obviously, on Instagram.
We are, you know, Top Rank
everywhere.
Importers, Facebook, the Google. You can find us everywhere. I mean, imported vehicle. We're, you know, there's YouTube. You've followed Sean. You know, we're everywhere. So.
Okay, James. Any parting remarks?
No, just looking forward to seeing everyone come check me out at No Braking, at nobraking.com. They can obviously find the latest article on the Audi is already up on GD channel. And then, so yeah, looking forward to our next one. We've got to cover more stuff next time.
Awesome. Taro.
GT channel. We did a couple videos with Sean and the gang. So check those videos out. How to buy a GT-R in Japan. How to drive a GT-R, with Dustin Williams. Shout out to Dustin.
Excuse me.
And next, bless you, Sam.
Sorry, excuse me.
Next week, actually, we're our other contributor, Justin Kaler. He's going to be visiting Top Rank to test drive the Evo 2, I believe, right? So
Evo 2. We have an Evo 1. We have Evo 2s. So yeah.
Yep. Sure. So he's going to do a JDM car review next week. At
awesome.
Top Rank.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then for me, I guess just samatani.com/blog if you want to read the chapters. There's going to be people's names in there. You might. I can't use the names straight right out because I don't want my friends angry at me. So you might recognize some people in there, but. And you could find the site on the GT channel features page because there's some
GTchannel.com
blogs. Yeah, GTchannel.com. So anyways, hey, it was a great show. Thank you again, Sean, for joining us. And
Thanks,
we will,
Sean.
I'm sure, see you in the near future. So everyone, stay safe, stay strong.
Wash your hands.
And pod speed to everyone. All right. See you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
everyone.
Bye.